Hello and welcome to the NUFC360 podcast. We've got the familiar faces back after an international break, shall we call it? And we'll start with the international element. We've got Max, we've got Matt, and we've got Joel. How are you guys?
All good.
Very well. How are we doing? How's everyone?
Lads, how long have we had that funky music? Because I was not expecting that. That's a good new intro, producer Mark. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to do something to earn nothing, really.
Spice it up a bit.
So what we're going to do, obviously, we've got the three topics, but we haven't really had a chance to cover what happened on Friday. So this is what we're just going to start off with first. Were you surprised with the fact that Eddie decided to keep the same lineup?
I don't think, no, not really. Obviously, Almiron's injury helped the matter, as in that could have easily been a change if he had slotted Almiron back in. But other than that, I'd say it was the right move.
Just going to pop in there. Thank you, Black Mamba.
See, even Black Mamba likes the new intro. I told you it's a good intro.
I actually didn't think there was going to be any changes. I didn't actually think that for me, I just think it would have been so unfair if any of those players who'd started against Wolves got dropped, because I just thought the first half against Wolves was probably one of the best halves of football I've probably seen in a long, long time from them. So I wasn't really surprised. Like I said, Jacob Murphy, I think, deserved to start. You look on the other side, you go and St. Maximin had a good game against Wolves. Less said about this game. Obviously, Isak, in the form that he seems to be getting into, you can't really drop him for Wilson, who's sort of like being off the boil. And like I said, your midfield, you've got Bruno, Longstaff, and Willoquinho. The only change I might have thought we might have made is maybe putting Target in for Burn. But other than that, I couldn't really see any changes. We'll start off with, let's go with the first part of the first half there. What were your thoughts of it? When you were watching it, were you thinking, this is going to be easy, or we're just going to, we're going to score one check? What was it that was, in your mind when you were watching it?
I mean, I thought for the first half, like the past previous, 3 games, it was a very similar story. We'd created chances, we'd not scored them. And then obviously a mistake again by one of our defenders against Sven Botman, actually, who in the whole has had an amazing season anyway. But that was his fault, and I'm sure he'd hold his hands up for it. And it was a nice finish, I'll be honest. It was a good finish, so credit to him for chipping Pope from there. But I thought it was going to be a tale of the past 3 games of just not taking the chances, not being clinical enough. We're still creating them. We just weren't finishing them. But I was very glad to see Isak finish the half off with a goal to make it 1-1. And what a finish it was, by the way, as well. I won't have any of the pundits who were trying to say it was a miss hit. He backed himself. He defended himself.
He cleared that up with Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher when it was shot. You'd taken that from me.
But yeah, I thought from then we'll go on and we'll win the game. And obviously, I won't go too much in the second half because we are just talking about the first half. Yeah, but when Elliot Anderson came on and did score that what I thought was the winning goal at the time, it was just amazing, and I'm absolutely gutted for him that got ruled out. And I'm sure we'll speak about that decision later on.
For those who maybe hadn't watched the match and we're waiting for us to go into the second half, a little spoiler from Joel there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna let Max wait because I know that he's just gushing to just shower praise on Isak. So I'm just gonna make him suffer that little bit more, so you can just get that in. So Matt, what were your thoughts when you were watching that?
Well, at first, I wasn't surprised when I saw him in the starting lineup and Isak, because he played really well against Wolves. I know he only managed about 60 minutes, I think it was, but I feel like he deserved to start the Forest game, and he's put faith in him. We've been asking him, especially me, I've been asking him to change it up a bit and start Isak, because it's been a while now where he hasn't really been in the team properly. And Callum Wilson did see him start, and I thought if we played as well as we did against Wolves, then we'd win the game. And especially when we went behind, I thought, well, now we're still going to win this game. I was still confident. I feel like Isak's playing too well. I feel like we're starting to get our mojo back. I feel like we're playing a lot better than we were. And before we went through this bad run, even when we went behind, I was still confident we'll get results. And just like the first time we went behind against Forest, I thought, you know what, that's fine. We'll come back and we'll get back into this game. And that's exactly what we did.
Do you think Forest should have had a few more yellow cards in the first half?
Possibly. I don't know what you boys thought, but yeah, I think they probably should have.
John Joe got stuck in, didn't he?
I think John Joe should have been on a yellow card probably from the third challenge. And it was the third challenge on Bruno. Every single one of his challenges was on Bruno. And you just like, look, even on you might have let the first two slide, but then the referee should have been going, right, well, hang on, I'm totting this up. I've let you away with two. The third, you're now going to get the yellow card for that. And that might, because for me, and I'm going to say, I don't want to call them a dirty side, but it was, the tactic seemed to be target share on his foot, where obviously, it'd been revealed that he's had, struggled with injury in his foot, and they seemed to be doing that. But then they seemed to be targeting Bruno as well, and it just seemed to be, in the first half especially, let's just try and foul them, let's just try and get in at them. And there's a part of us where I'm like, I thought Forest were better than that, and they didn't have to go down that route of trying to foul it. Look, I don't think they were bad enough where it would have caused serious injuries. In that sense, there was definitely one, and I think it might have been on shore, where it was sort of like a scissor, sort of like where the foot got caught. I thought that should have been a yellow. None that was given. We'll come on to the referee's performance a little bit later on. But no, I just think in that part, it sort of like didn't allow the game to be controlled, and that's just sort of.
I think, Mark, it would have been spoken about a lot more if we'd have drew or lost the game, but the fact that we won, so for that doesn't really get spoken about. But I do think you're right. There was a few challenges and things that the ref let go or should have given a yellow card for, and he didn't. But at least we won the game, so we don't speak about it that much, do we? If we win the game, which is just the way it is.
No, exactly. And what we'll do is we're going to give Max his moment of joy. What did you think of Isak's first half performance?
I mean, it was the whole match really was sensational, and it's so nice for me to just watch all the Geordie fans and Newcastle fans just go raving about this Swedish man. I'm sitting in my corner and be like, oh yes, this is so nice. This is so a special thing actually for me to have a fellow countryman, and because Sweden is a quite small country in certain aspects, it's nice to see him prosper here, and the fans really take him into like they've done with Bruno and Botman and other type players from other countries, and also because this is probably the best version we've seen of Isak since his really good season at Sociedad 2 seasons ago, where he was really good. But this is now finally coming into form, and that's why I'm worried about the international break, because I don't trust our pitchers here in Sweden to help him stay fit. But I just hope he can get through it, maybe even get some strength from it, keep playing some more games, come back with the momentum still going, and keep this going. Because if he's in this form as it's been now in these 2 games, we're gonna get Champions League football, that's for sure.
To be honest, I am probably a little bit surprised in terms of how good Isak's been in the last couple of games. Like, he's good, but you think, oh, he's not that. Yeah, I didn't think he was that good. Obviously some of the play and the build-up play, we could have scored earlier on. When it was 0-0, there was a great chance where the free kick was worked. It went at Isak, And I just don't think Isak got the power on the shot and that. It deflected onto the bar. So, yeah, unfortunately, that was the look there. We didn't really have that. But you also look at the fact that if Maximin hadn't, if Saint hadn't had his injury and moved into the centre and Isak moved out to the left, Isak wouldn't have been in that position to score the goal. And
yeah, Eddie Howe did say that, didn't he? He switched him over onto the left for the last few minutes.
Yeah, and to be honest, I actually don't. I know Isak's like, yeah, it was a shot, but would that have come off? Yeah, again and again and again. It was a great finish, and it hit the post at the perfect way to go in. And I think it was a ball in from Willock as well, which did that as well. Which I thought he was for a second game running. Absolutely phenomenal.
He's a talented player. Yeah. Very, very talented.
I thought that was a natural instinct finish. That was. I even said that on TV. Something like that, you don't train to do that. That's just something.
It was like CC-esque, where CC just didn't. Yeah, if he thought about things, it'd normally go wrong. But if he just had to react, he'd score some outrageous scores, including the one at Chelsea. And I just think that was maybe something with Isak in that. Yeah, there was a thought of how he was going to position, but I just think it was the instinct of, right, there's a ball coming over, I need to get the contact on that.
Yeah, he's definitely meant it, because if you watch it, you guys have seen now for a couple of games, I've seen him for a couple more games. He has this kind of natural ability that he thinks of things that you and I maybe, or someone else, Callum Wilson would have done that. He would try. I don't know what he would try, but he would have scored that. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's something, and he gets compared a lot to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, of course, and he also had that kind of ability to, get these crazy goals with his back heel or do some insane volley. And I think Isak has that type of ability also. It's just a natural kind of instinct that you can't really teach.
No, I don't think you can. He's one of those ones where he's not a striker. Do you know what I mean? He's not. He might be a forward.
No, he's more than that.
He's not a forward. He's a centre. He's like more of a forward rather than a centre forward. Yeah, he can play as a number 9. He can play as a number 10. He can play on the wing. Yeah, and
I think he can do everything.
Yeah, we've seen him do. We've seen him play as the number 10. Yeah, with Wilson, we've seen him move out onto the left and that. So he can do so much, but I just think the fact that he's getting back into it, he's getting his fitness up, we are now seeing the real Isak. And his stats, when you look at it, in terms of like the minutes per goal ratio, he is only behind Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have won that game if Callum Wilson started. I don't think we won that game because Isak started.
No, but see, this is the other thing which I'm also going to look at. I actually think we missed a little bit of bite in the midfield, which is where Joe Linton would have been. But I also think if Joe Linton had started, that performance would have been different. Do you know what I mean? Like we missed Joe Linton, but we didn't, in a sense. And it's a great problem to have that we can have someone like Joe Linton drop out, and the midfield just performs a little bit differently in the way that it does do that. And I actually thought we were a lot more attacking. Like you look at this attack and you're just going, well, one of these have got to go in. The second half obviously started. Whether or not it is the injury that Eddie Howe said or not, I was glad that St. Maximin went off, because I just didn't think apart from doing what he needed to do in terms of a good bit of skill, which led up to the goal to make it 1-1, he hadn't really done anything all match. And I was just like, look, this is one of his off days. Let's just take him off. I don't know who it was in my mind when I was thinking, who was he going to come on for? I don't think I probably thought in my mind it was going to be Elliot Anderson. But I'm so pleased it was, because he came on and I think he's done enough to start the next game. And I know that's against Manchester United, but you cannot drop a lad like Elliot Anderson when he's done a performance like that. Yeah. if you look at it, and this is, and it wasn't that, because it was, he probably did more in the first 5-10 minutes than Maxi did in the whole first half. And it wasn't that long. I think it was Murphy who put the ball in right over the box, and Elliott, with the instant reaction was caused to save by Navas. Wonderful bit of skill in there for that. And I just think, he's a different type of player. I do think he's worked on his strength and his build, and
he looks incredibly strong on the ball. Really strong.
Yeah. And then obviously, when we come up to it, the next one was that, again, I've got to give praise to Isak, because how Isak on the floor got the ball, controlled it, got up, and then passed it to Elliot Anderson. You're just like, I can't see anyone else who could have done that. But he did do that. He did finish it. Sean Longstaff was not offside because the defender made a deliberate play for the ball. But it seems the only two people who didn't think that was a deliberate pass was the referee and the video assistant referee, which is worrying that we've got referees that don't know the laws of the game that they're refereeing and what is a deliberate pass and what is a deflection.
I mean,
I think we can all agree on that, actually.
Yeah, it was one of the worst decisions I think I've seen. I mean, I know I don't want to be biased and say because it's for us, but genuinely, out of every dodgy VAR decision I've seen this season, that possibly tops it for me. And I do expect some form of apology from the referee.
But you personally?
Yeah, no, but I think
I think so.
It's not excusable. They can't even come out and read the law. Every other referee from any pundit show, Peter Walton, that Hackett ref on Twitter, all of them have said it was a shocking decision. And
you know it's bad when Dermot Gallagher agrees that it was bad. He normally defends and sticks up for the referees on Ref Watch on Sky. So when he came out and says there is no chance, that is a deliberate play of the ball, which therefore means that Sean Longstaff is no longer offside. And the fact that it got to the point where the referee even had to go to the monitor. Now, I know there's plenty of people who are going, well, it's subjective. The fact is, this was offside, and being offside is factual. So if the VAR looks at it and goes, right, I believe Sean Longstaff's in an offside position, that's factual. So that's that part. Because there's then the subjective aspect of, was it a deliberate pass or was it a deflection? That is the reason why the referee has to go. So that's why there's not the clear and obvious aspect of it, because offside is factual. It's not the subjective. The only subjective part was if the referee, when he looked at that, thought that was a deliberate pass or a deflection. If he thought it was a deflection, then the factual aspect of the offside stands and the offside would be given. So that, as frustrating as it is, the right thing was done in terms of going that. I actually also think there was a one that went forwards against Brentford at home, if I remember. The referee went to the monitor because they wanted to see whether, although Ivan Toney didn't touch the ball, because of where he was in the fact that the ball went closer, was he classed as interfering? And they said he was. So, it can and can't go with you, but I just, it just beggars belief that even when he's seen that, the referee, he doesn't know that that's intentional. And this, I feel so gutted for Elliot Anderson because I think he deserved that goal.
It was embarrassing. The decision was embarrassing. I can't believe referees in the Premier League are making decisions like that. It's quite clear that it should have stood. And that referee's let down Elliot Anderson, who's come on and scored his first goal for his boy. I know he'll probably have another chance to score again, but
VAR's had enough of Matt slagging them.
And it cost us the game. But the fact that it didn't, I'm not going to moan about it too much.
Well, that's the
I don't know what
thing.
you boys think.
If it had stayed at 1-1, I think there would have been so much news about this and so much of a fuss.
Yeah.
And I think probably Eddie Howe
Massive.
would have kicked up more of a fuss because it didn't contribute to the result of the game. It sort of like went a little bit quieter on that aspect of it. In the second half, realistically, there was only really going to be one team in it that was going to go and get the win. And I'm going to look at it, because we were just pushing the pressure on, and we're putting the pressure on, and we're putting the pressure on. Obviously, a ball came into the box. Their defender, and I can't remember his name because it's completely slipped my mind. Was it Kwat?
Niakate.
Niakate, that's the one. You put your hand up like that, it's going to be a penalty. It was above his head. It was above his head. The ball
He knew,
hit
didn't he, as soon as he...
I mean, when he went home,
I think quite a few of the Forest players knew, because you've seen like some of the reactions. It was like, oh no. So great decision by the referee, and we have to give praise to the master of shithousery, Captain KT, Mr. Trippier, pretending to be taking the penalty to have all the mind games on him, and then Isak just steps up. I honestly absolutely love that. And there's a picture going around, and it's a smile on Trippier's face, and I absolutely love that. Yeah.
I thought it was a clever touch. I think a lot more teams are adopting that approach of someone looking like they're going to take the penalty and then just letting the other player step up. I think the keeper did know it was going to be Isak. I think I was watching one of his post-match interviews, and he was like, he came up to us, he knew it was going to be me.
No,
but
I think
that alleviates some of the pressure that Isak, would have had if he was standing there holding the ball, ready to take it. So it was a clever move, and I loved it.
Yeah, I think Isak came out. I think it was when he was getting interviewed by Neville and Carrigan. He says, Navas knew that I was taking the penalty in that. But Trippier probably did it with the other players in that, and bought that. Obviously, Navas got booked. And I've watched the highlights again, mainly because it was so much fun to do, including the match cam. Love that as well. But there's also a part like in that where I think that Navas was going to try his luck one more time, and the referee basically pointed to his pocket and says, "I've booked you once. Don't make us do it a second time." And obviously, Isak stepped up, ice cool, and put away probably a beautiful penalty. As soon as I seen that, Isak, apologies. Max will tell me off. He's giving me evil looks. It's because I was thinking of ice cool Isak and the ice and the Isak just mixed up.
Yeah.
But no, when I seen Kieran Trippier at first, I don't know whether or not anyone else did, but I was thinking, oh Christ, no.
Well, he showed his penalty record on the screen. Did you see it? And then
the two penalties.
I want to see the penalty.
Goals scored. It was outside of the net.
I know. I want to see that penalty that got scored outside of above the bar.
I was 100% sure that Isak was going to take the penalty. I don't know about you guys, but I did not fall for his shenanigans. I knew directly that Isak was going to take that one. So, and he did really well.
And that's what you pay the big money for.
Yeah, exactly. Those moments.
I love the shush. I love the shush.
Yeah.
I absolutely
That's interesting actually, because Isak is known as being quite timid in his way of playing, and the Swedish commentators who analyzed the game after was quite big on that he's showing more character now and being taking space in the squad and being more like, here I am.
That's
to the fans. That's very good for him. He needs that. He needs to develop that kind of style because Zlatan was very good at it, and he's need to develop that kind of style of him because he's going to get better with his.
But it is, and sometimes you need that little bit of arrogance and sort of like.
Yeah, look at Wilson. Wilson with all his, he always talks like that, and he has a way of being, and he's a goal scorer in the Premier League, and he's done very well. So
exactly, you do that, and I love the passion, and this is when you watch that video, yeah, and I've watched it over and over again, probably too many times. Yeah, that's healthy. But obviously that clip where you've just got Isak buzzing, you've got all the new signings just absolutely buzzing, and yet they haven't come here for the money. They've come here because they want to be part of something special. And I absolutely love it. And you can just see Bruno, where he's going vamos, 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 vamos. Yeah, and then obviously there's another part where you can see him actually singing and one going E-I-E-I-E, up the Premier League we go, and he's there's just that. I actually thought Bruno had probably a quieter game, in the Forest game, because
it was necessary. He didn't necessarily directly impact the game in terms of getting a goal or assist, but he done everything well, and that's what's so good about him. It can go unnoticeable because we appreciate him that much now that it's sort of just you expect it.
But he doesn't need to be at the top of his game, all the time there now, because like I said, I think Sean Longstaff's stepping up. Yeah, you've got Joe Willock, who again I thought was probably a bit harsh on Willock. Yeah, I know Isak got the man of the match with Sky because he scored the 2 goals, but I probably wouldn't have been surprised if Willock had got it, because I just thought Willock was absolutely outstanding. And he's if he continues in that form, he will be an England regular for a long, long time to come, because he is phenomenal. And you just look at that. The other thing which I just want to point on is there's a picture and it's great to see. You've got Jacob Murphy, Sean Longstaff, Elliot Anderson, and Dan Byrne, 4 local lads, all on the pitch, all buzzing. And that's what it's great to see. You've got local lads. So I know we've got all this money and we're bringing in talent, but you've got that local aspect as well. And I just think that's probably something that's also needed in there, because you need to have that attachment to the club. Whether or not, I know Black Mamba made a comment earlier on with regards to the defence. I would say we've probably talked a little bit too much about Isak.
No,
it's never too much.
It's never too much. Right, that's the right spirit.
Van Ross once said. Yeah,
I've still got more to say about him. I was going to talk. I was just going to add on what Max said about his character. Do you think that's, or for you, do you think that's coming because he's getting older and because of the big price tag he had? Do you think that's adding to the fact that his character's coming out of it?
Yeah, I think it's a maturity thing. I mean, he was very young when he broke through at AIK in Stockholm, and I think he was 16. So he has a very long career already, and he's only 23 years old. So for this trade to come out now, I think it's only good, and also him hitting form and feeling physically good, along with feeling important to the team, and also building that confidence is just going to be good for him. And getting that character is something we in Sweden have been asking from him quite a while now, and if he can build on that, it will be awesome, because it's just going to make him a better player.
Yeah, I thought that was a massive moment. If you're paying money like that for a player, that's exactly what we want him to be doing. Taking that penalty in the last minute, and that is a huge moment. That's an extra 2 points that could get us Champions League. Like when he stepped up, I knew he was like Mark said earlier, he's ice cold, and it's great that we've got players at the club now who step up for those big moments, and we're going to see a lot of that going forward. I think a lot of it.
Yeah, it's hard to wait out the keeper to make the first move. That's probably one of the hardest things to do as a penalty taker, to have that coldness, and also to do it in the 92nd, 3rd minute of a game where it's 1-1. And you can just it's some different mentality.
I could never do that. It's a fair play.
But Isak seems to have a thing about popping up late and scoring late goals. He did the same at Fulham. Yeah, it is. Yeah, look. If you look at it, the game, the goal against Fulham was like a scruffy goal that wasn't spectacular, but he's got all those in his locker. Because I actually think, the first goal that he scored against, on his debut against Liverpool was a wonderful finish. You then look at the fact that he scored a penalty against Bournemouth at home, which got us a point. He scored against Fulham. He scored against Wolves. And the finish that he did, so he's that's what I like about it's not just one type of finish. Yeah, you can be in there and just do the tap-ins if you want, but you can also do good finishes as well. Whether or not, yeah, because I will say I probably thought at the beginning maybe we'd overpaid for him a little bit. I'm not thinking that now.
No, I think
No.
he's a complete striker. I think he's
He
got
is.
everything. He's got
He is.
everything. He can go in behind. He can hold the ball up. He can link up play. He can head the ball. He can literally. Remember that goal he set up against Southampton in the League Cup, where he's literally got the player.
Yeah.
Literally rolls him, pops the ball in Joelinton. Like he did it against Forest, which Elliot Anderson's goal. Like the way the ball was glued to his foot, and he just chips it with his weak foot. I think it was.
Yeah, that skill move was
back post.
incredible. From sitting down on the grass to doing like a flick, bang bang, and then crossing perfect cross to back post.
That was just like pure filth, and that when you're watching it and you're just going, how? Yeah, because it was the trickery with the feet as well. I'm gonna see it. I think Isak has now cemented his place as Newcastle United starting striker as long as he's fit for the remainder of the season. And I actually, I don't really, I don't like to say this, but I think it may be time to look at getting rid of Wilson in the summer.
Well, that'll be an interesting decision, isn't it? If he leaves.
Sorry, what do you think, Joel?
Like, I'm just saying, I think that'll be interesting whether or not Wilson will want to leave, knowing that he's not going to be, the number 9. He's not going to be the go-to striker. Is he going to want first team football? Is he happy to be second choice? Because it's something that he's never really been at Newcastle. So I don't know. It's a food for thought.
I just think he's getting older. He's constantly picking up injuries. There's something just seriously wrong since he's come back from the World Cup, and he's not looking like the player that we know he can be. And it's whilst it's nice to be sentimental in that, we need to score goals up front, and that's where we've been lacking. Yeah, so I think there's one player which I'd probably going to get to Forest support. Our opponent. One player I'd love to see us sign from there, and that's Brennan Johnson.
He's a good player. Yeah, he's a young talent. I think we might have even been linked with him in the past.
Yeah,
but I just think he can play out wide. He can play as a striker. He's young. He's up and coming. Yeah, he's homegrown to an extent. Yeah, so it's one of those ones where you want to be bringing that type in there. Yeah, we've got Anthony Gordon, who again is young, and I think will become really good. It's just frustrating that he picked up the injury when he did, because I think he probably would have started ahead of Murphy in the Wolves game if he'd been fit. But you just look at that. Black Mamba says, I think we cash in on Wilson whilst his stock was still rated, rather than have him around for a season or two and see him leaving for almost nothing.
White scale all over again.
Well, we let him go for nothing, but we just wanted to get his
I see that point.
Then obviously,
I see that point.
Yeah, there is that where you do look at that. I also have a very strong feeling that I think we will cash in on St. Maximin in the summer, because I
think he'll stay.
No, but it's not really up to him. If Eddie Howe says, "I don't want you to be part of this,"
yeah, I mean,
I just go on, John. You say your bit.
Yeah, I was just going to go back to the Wilson thing. I think if Wilson does end up going in the summer, you'd then have to go in for a second striker. In one of the rumours that I believe is the most likely transfer that will happen this summer, or at least will go in for him, is Marcus Thuram. Obviously, he used to be one of the most highly rated youngsters, then kind of just dropped off the scene a bit, didn't perform, but then he had his like another kind of second breakout season. This season, even with France as well, he's been scoring, and I think on a free, which has already been confirmed by his club, by the director, that he will be leaving on a free. I think we will go in for him, as well as Tottenham. I think they're rumoured, and I think he'd be
you look, we bring in Marcus Thuram to replace Wilson on a free. So there you go. Yeah. You've got your Wilson replacement, and you haven't really spent that much. Yeah. Because I know they'll be signing on stuff, but not a lot. Then I would say go for someone like a Brennan Johnson. You've then got
I would
three.
say no. Give Anderson more shots. I'd rather see him flourish in our team than bringing
Yeah,
another young English
but
player.
Anderson will realistically be playing in like the St. Maximin area, which is out to the left. Brennan Johnson will be coming in to be
But
playing.
he's also a winger.
Yeah, but you can also play up front because Brennan Johnson has played up front in it too as well. So there is,
Our front three is becoming highly competitive in terms of,
But you then look at
Gordon...
look at the left though. But you look at the left though. Yeah. Let's say we get rid of Ryan Fraser. Let's say we get rid of Matt Ritchie. You're then left with either with Murphy and Miggy on one side, and Anderson and Gordon on the other side. So you still. Well, I know, but if Maxi leaves, so then bringing someone like Brennan Johnson in, you've then got that flexibility. You can play on either wing and you can play up front. Isak can play out on the wing. So you've got that flexibility in terms of the players. And I think
you forget as well, Joe. I mean, not that he's good at position these days, but Joe Linton and Joe Willer can both play left wing really well.
No, I do like Brennan Johnson, but I do think Anthony Gordon is the exact same type of player as him, so I don't think they would probably go in for him there. I think Anthony Gordon could play any one of the front end.
I think if we are going to go in for a winger of like ridiculously high caliber, it'll be someone like Diaby. I don't please signing someone like Johnson.
So Moussa Diaby and Marcus Thuram. Something which obviously we're just going to touch on now, which is again the defensive doubt, and that's probably why I'm going to say we need a left back. Yes, someone like Kieran Tierney, but I just think with the fitness aspect of it, that's where the worrying thing is. But for me, like I said, there is a worry over the fact that we are now conceding more regularly. We're not keeping the clean sheets that we used to, and we're making defensive errors. Like Pope made the error against Liverpool. He made an error against Wolves, which thankfully the ref and VAR didn't think it was, but I'm sure everyone else thought that it was a penalty and sending off. You then look at Trippier slipping. That again, I think Nick Pope should be shouting for his. And then you look at the fact of what Botman did. A lot. I question, but I actually are the defensive frailties coming now because of the concern over Pope, because of what happened in the Liverpool game, and there seems to be that shakiness now.
No, I think it's just because we had so high levels in the first part of the season that we're not used to seeing this, because we saw so many games where we were so good, but now it's actually this is normal for football teams to have this kind of defensive lapses. It's super hard to keep it tight for 90 minutes.
Not so many in a consistent, because it seems to be a consistent thing. Liverpool, Wolves, Forest, these are all games. Where
I just think this happens. It's just natural for these mistakes to happen, and it just so happens it's happened over the past few games, because prior to that we didn't have any. So
you see Arsenal also, they're conceding goals still, and they're the best team in the league right now.
I don't think it's anything to worry about, to be honest. I don't think it's anything to worry about at all. The only thing I do agree with what you said, Mark, is I 100% think Pope's sort of composure on the ball has been affected by the incident. Liverpool. You can tell he's a bit jittery, but I think that'll take a couple of games and he'll be over that. And in terms of the mistakes, I think you've got to put that down to just, they were unlucky. It was an unlucky deflection in the final against Man United, against Rashford. Fair enough. It was definitely human error by Botman against Forest. That was it was a poorly timed pass. It needed to have be a stronger pass. But
I don't think Dennis
or anything like that.
But I don't think Dennis would have chased that ball if it was any other keeper. I think he's looked at that and thought, "Hang on, he's probably going to be shaky given what's happened in the game against Wolves and that." So I think they've tried to target that. I think if he hadn't made those mistakes, you might not have seen Dennis that high up and trying to press that. But in that sense, there's just something for me where I just think, has Pope had his confidence knocked in?
I mean, he probably has. I mean, to make a mistake like he did, and obviously missed the final. It's absolutely, there's no player in the world that's not going to have the confidence, not a tiny bit for that. I mean, it was such a big error. So But I don't think it's going to be a thing that's going to affect him for the rest of the season. Like I said, I think it'll be a couple of games. But what I will say is, with Black Mama's recent comment there about Trippier playing every game, I've noticed this, and I put it on my Twitter. He's been making a lot more mistakes than he normally would, especially his passing errors. Like, if you look at the past few games, the amount of possession loss, and I know you can then argue that back with he's on the ball more than anyone else in the defense, which I suppose you can to a degree. But I certainly think the accuracy of his passes has went right down, and he's got caught out of position, and he's been receiving a few more yellow cards than he normally has. And I think that probably is just a case of playing every game, and it would benefit with the likes of Ashby being ready to play first team football.
Yeah,
which
100%.
obviously isn't, because he hasn't really featured in the squad yet at all, I don't think.
You need to protect him.
One thing I have noticed.
Well, no, I think the problem is Ashby's nowhere near starting, I don't think. But I think it was a case of he's a very good up-and-coming player. And for the price that we probably got him from, which was probably in the hundreds of thousands rather than the millions, I just think it was a deal that probably needed to be done because we needed someone. He plays in quite a similar mold to Trippier. And I think that's probably why he's been brought in, to learn from him to hopefully be his replacement. But it is saying something that Manquillo isn't trusted.
At that age,
in that aspect of it.
Protect him. But the thing is, I don't think he has players he can trust. I don't think he trusts Manquillo. Ashby's not there yet. And obviously Kraft's out injured, isn't he? So I don't think he's quite got that player.
Seems to be a problem with these Swedish players. They're constantly getting injured.
Oh, come on, man. Who's your English players who injured Kraft's knee, man, in Tranmere? Shithole place.
So it's the trap.
Yeah. But no, honestly, there is that where it's amazing, like, what 12 months can do to you, because 12 months, like, if you'd looked at it, that, like, 12 months last year, you wouldn't have been hoping for Kraft to be fit and to be playing into a squad. You'd have been begging for Manquillo. But now things have changed.
You'd have been playing in the lesser games at home. The games against like Forest and Wolves and stuff at home.
Yeah, but I'm saying, if you look at it, 12 months ago, before Eddie Howe came in, there was no Newcastle fan asking for Kraft to be fit and playing. Now,
not even me.
Yeah, now we are, because we've seen what he can do. And there was a part of me, like, towards the end of last season, where I was quite happy if Trippier didn't come back in the last few games of the season, because I actually thought, he can handle it, he can do what he needs to do. That's why I'm not that. In terms of the right back, I don't think we need in the summer. Left back, probably a midfielder. The other thing, which, we're probably looking back to January aspect, but increasing injuries. When we look at it, you've now got, what is it? Pope with a knock, Fabian Shaw with a knock. You've got Mickey out for 6 weeks. You've got Anthony Gordon out for 3 weeks. You've got Wilson, not feeling too well. Are you concerned about the amount of injuries? And is it down to the fact that we haven't got the squad to rotate?
That's all it is for me. I wouldn't be concerned at anything to do with, general fitness in the squad or match training. It's just, as Black Mamba said there, it's all down to the squad there. And, like you've just said there, the lack of rotation between, the likes of City, Arsenal, Chelsea have a ridiculously rich quality to rotate players. And, for them to still have a good ability across the squad. We don't have that. It is taking its toll on players. Players like Miggy, who's only not started, well, now 2 games, because he was injured, but he had started every game. I think Trippier has as well. Pope, pretty much everyone bar one. So that is going to happen when you're this many games into a season, and I wouldn't worry about it in the long term.
Well, that's the injury aspect covered up. So we've done probably too much loving it. Well, not that. So we've covered Isak, and let's hope the Swedish medical team are covering him with cotton wool.
Yeah, I hope so.
I still have concerns over the defensive aspect of it, especially when you're coming up against a side like Manchester United. But hopefully, the trip out to Dubai will do the lads no wonder of good. It did the last time, I think. We went out there. We had was it a winter break? We went out there, and then next thing you know, we came back and continued to run with saved from relegation.
Always.
So
I think we've been to 2 now, and both times we've come back flying. If I'm not, if I'm wrong.
Yeah. So fingers crossed with that one. Whilst I hate internationals, and I truly do, I hate them with
Who
a
likes
passion.
them, really? Is there someone who likes international breaks? I haven't met one person that does.
Like the world, but like the World Cup and Euros, you sort of enjoy, but like the qualification period, you just like,
Yeah,
it's like a warm up friend. It's like a friendly game. Yeah.
I'm never too fussed about watching them either. They tend to be very null, like boring games that, like Ukraine, 1 or 2-0 max, and then it'll be a dead first half performance. It's just, I mean, this is going back. This is a problem going back with South.
But it is like, right. I want to watch the Premier League. I want to watch Spurs being 3-1 up and then coming back to draw. I want to watch a 4-2 against Wolves and Leeds where there's two players sent off. You want to see those sort of games. That's what gives you the excitement and that. And you just I'm still good. It's still quite surreal that we can look at the relegation battle and just sit back and go, you just fight it. You
know what? That's probably going to be, but it is going to be more entertaining than the race for the title, I think.
Well, I'm going to say that because realistically, anyone from, I would say, 11th down is in a relegation battle, and anyone from like 10th upward is in a European battle. There's every club's got something to play for, and to be into March and still seeing that, I think it's probably making this Premier League season one of the most entertaining because there's so much up for grabs for everyone. Like I said, you've got like Leicester's not safe, Leeds on safe, Everton fingers crossed on safe.
Happy to not have that stress again.
Exactly. But now we've got the different stress. We've got the stress of
but this is nice stress.
It's a better stress.
It's will it
positive
be the Champions
stress.
League? Will it not be? Will it be? Actually, I've got a stat on the Champions League. So the top 4 prediction: Arsenal are predicted 100%, so they're going to be there. Man City 100%, so they're going to be there. So that's first and second. Manchester United have a 91.8%, so they're third. Tottenham are currently 4th, but they have a 23.9% chance. We are 5th and have a 39.9% chance. So because of the fact that we've got 2 games in hand on Spurs and we're only 2 points behind them, it's predicting that we're going to get that. The other thing also is if either Manchester United or Chelsea win the Champions League.
What about Liverpool? Do they have? Because they're right behind us.
They're
on 30%, so it's practically a 10% difference on that. And then you've got Brighton on 12% and Brentford, who are 8th on 0.4. The only thing I was going to say is if Chelsea won the Champions League, we wouldn't get Champions League football because that 4th place would go to them for winning the Champions League.
That's a little bit too many if buts and maybes for me, actually.
No, but you look at that and you look at the fact that we've now won 2 games in a row. We seem to be coming back into the form. Things might have looked a little bit differently a few weeks back. I'm going to ask all of you how confident you would be that we'll make top 4. And I'll go to Matt first.
I think I answered this last week. I think I said we'd finish 6th. So, we won on Friday, but I'm still going to stand and say we're going to miss out on the top 4. I just don't think we got enough kind of strength and depth. And I feel like injuries may play a part in it. Hopefully, we don't get any more serious ones, but it's football. It's going to happen. I do think if we beat Man United and Tottenham, I think there's like an 80% chance we'll finish top 4. But if we don't, then I think we'll finish just outside.
Max?
Be negative.
Yeah, I agree with Matt. I was really low when we lost these games. Now I don't want to get too high again when we win this game. So I said 5th last time you asked, so I'm going to stick with that. I think that's a sensible and reasonable kind of positions to be in. It's all depending on how injuries and other thing affects us now during the final stretch of the season. And I'm of course hoping for Champions League. It would be awesome to have, and maybe they can come here to Sweden and we can see a game here. But the problem is we don't have any teams in the Champions League, so probably the Europa League is better. It's better than the Conference League.
I was going to say that, yeah. But yeah.
But yeah, Holland's
not too far. So if we get Ajax,
exactly.
You could, it's a short hop over, there for you to go. We can all go on the DFDS ferry.
Mm-hmm.
Our little cruise to Amsterdam for an away trip. Yeah, Christ, imagine the boat price. Be like an armada of DFDS ferries just going from North Shields.
I'd say 5th.
And Joe?
Yeah, I think it depends on a few things. Firstly, because Conte, as you've probably seen in the news, is very likely to be sacked later this week. It depends who comes in for them. Are they going to have a positive bounce from their manager or not? Even though I'd like to say focus on our results and stuff, but being realistic here, it is going to depend on how well they perform in the latter half of the season. So
I think it's most likely that they'll appoint Ryan Mason until the end of the season.
Yeah, I think that's likely. But we'll see how they react to that. So we are going to have to get fortunate with a couple of results. Secondly, is again injuries. If we do lose anyone key, then I'd have to write that off the window. If Bruno, touch wood, he doesn't. But if anyone like him, Bruno, Botman, Shaw gets injured for a long time, I couldn't see we're getting top 4. And then thirdly, and most importantly, and I wouldn't like to put pressure on him, but I genuinely think it's down to Isak. If he keeps this up, this goal scoring in his performances, I do think we'll get top 4. And that's been very optimistic. And could you be confident on it? Well, no, not really. But if he does play like this for the rest of the season, will remain injury-free, and Tottenham don't go on a ridiculously good run with, like you said, Ryan Mason in charge, I do fancy ourselves to finish top 4.
Just obviously to feed in, the 2 games in hand that we have are West Ham away and Brighton at home. Obviously, the West Ham away was postponed due to the passing of the Queen, which I believe is on the Wednesday just after the Man U game. And I think after that we face Brentford. Don't quote me on it, but I'm sure it is. Because I think after that we've got like 4 away games in a row.
4 away. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sure it's that, and I'm just going to double check. Yeah, so we have Man U at home, then we have West Ham away, then Brentford away, then Aston Villa away.
Yeah, so it's 3 away.
Yeah, then Spurs at home, then Everton away. So we've got 2 at home. Well, we've got 3 away on the trot. Obviously, if we'd counted the Forest game, that would have been like out of the next 5 games would have had 4 away and 1 at home. You're looking at that and going West Ham, decent chance. Brentford, depends whether Ivan Toney's been banned yet.
Lads, I must say we are Man United a thrashing. I don't know how you lot feel, but I'd love it. I would love it if we beat them. We are because that was a hard day. That was when we lost in the final. It was.
But we have to move on there. But like I said, Joel is right. It's on so many things. Yeah, you look at the fact of injuries, but that's a game with everyone. Yeah, if Man U pick up injuries, they might drop off. If Spurs pick up injuries, yeah, so it is that sort of thing. I'm not good. Yeah, look, I'd probably be gutted if we ended up in the Europa Conference League spot.
I couldn't be gutted personally. I think any form of
I would, given where we'd been for most of the season, the fact that we've spent most of the season up there and in the top 4 spot, it'd be a little bit sort of like of a downer. It's a nice downer to have. Yeah, it's not like we're getting relegated. Yeah, but I just think also for where we need to be in terms of like Bruno and that, we need to maybe let's get into the Europa League and then try and focus on getting the Champions League the next season. I just think the Europa Conference,
but that would still be huge. Like, imagine we're getting to the conference and win the conference. Like, how big that's going to be.
But yeah, but it's just part of me
about like complaining about that ever.
It's a pointless competition, though.
A trophy's a trophy.
Good experience for the players.
Why is it a pointless competition?
Because I just think playing in Europe should be like a badge of honour. But UEFA have now said, well, you've got the Champions League, but then if you're not good enough for that, you've got the Europa League. And then if you're not good enough for that, you've got the Conference League.
But it's a good away day for the fans who want to. What's wrong with that?
What, to Estonia and Moldova and Kazakhstan?
Yeah,
and
experience.
Yeah,
I'd go.
Experience.
We go, Matt.
I get it. It's not the Champions League. It's not the Europa League. I get it. But it's still fun seeing pictures of Bruno abroad, isn't it? I don't care where it is. It could literally be in Moldova, Ukraine.
I know, but in the Champions League, you get your trips to like Barcelona and Madrid and Sevilla.
Yeah, and you lose 5-0.
And Milan and Paris.
Lose 5-0. I don't think we're quite there yet, but it would be nice.
I don't care. Yeah, it's nice places. Yeah, to be honest, even if we end up in somewhere like Moldova or Estonia or Finland or Norway or whatever, you'll still see 3,000 tune fans with the tops off.
Why did you say 2 Scandinavian countries there, Mark?
Because I was trying to think of cold European countries, and the Scandinavian countries are right up there. Yeah,
it's not that cold. You can manage. You're Geordies. You got tough skin.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, we'll still be there topless. It's something that we do. We're known for it. As the commentators,
like NUFC tattoo on his belly.
Yes,
I love that. Absolutely.
Is that you? Is it Mark?
No, it's not.
Is that you?
Yes, it's me with a wig on. What we'll do is we're just going to wrap up, and I'm just going to do a quick one here for you, and I'm going to see whether or not you agree with Sky. I'll ask Max, but there's no point because I know exactly who he's going to say. Your man of the match.
Alexander Isak, of course. What?
I'm shocked with that. Matt?
I'll go with Isak as well, but Willock's close second. Yeah.
Good man.
Joel?
Isak for me. Willock played very well, but I wouldn't even call it close. It was definitely Isak.
He's won us 2 points there. Well, he's won us 3 points there.
Yeah.
Love to hear it.
I'm going to be...
Don't even say it. Don't even say it.
I am going to be the odd one out, and I'm going to say Joel Willock, because without Joel Willock, Isak wouldn't have had the chances to score those. Yeah, it's fact though. Willock did the work to create the chances in that.
Well, without Isak, you wouldn't have scored.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we might have. You never. Yeah, but yeah.
Who
just
would
for me,
scored the first goal? Who can do that? No
I just think sometimes with Sky that it's easy for them to just pick the player who scored 2 goals. But I just think, deserved and well deserved. I just think, well, nothing taken away from Isak. If I could give them a joint award, I would, because I think they were both great. But I just a smidge think that Willock deserved it. I just thought he was absolutely outstanding.
Lads, I think we should ask Black Mamba.
Yes,
he really thinks. I bet you he says Isak.
Yeah,
he will. But it's okay, Mark. We'll let you have Willock in, yeah. It's okay.
Well, his answer may depend on whether or not he gets to watch the show next week. Oh, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Where's the
Good
band?
lad.
Right.
Where,
I think
Discussion
you need-
over.
You need to close
Well,
the
I did.
podcast on a certain ABBA song. That's all I'm saying.
take it away then, Max.
No, I can't. I'm gonna hurt your ears. That's not good.
Go ahead, Mark.
But give me a striker from Sweden.
Well, give me a striker from Sweden.
Well, that's it then. We're all done now.
There you go. You've heard my dulcet tones. Thank you for watching. We will be back at some point during the. I think Black Mamba's just talked about you there, Max.
Yeah,
Dancing Queen.
that's me. Every Saturday.
Well, only Saturday. But yeah, no, we'll say thank you. We'll let everyone go. Thank you for watching. Let's hope we're this happy in a couple of weeks' time after the Man U game. We will be back at some point over the international break. Haven't decided that yet, but yeah, at some point it'll probably be either Friday or Saturday. Thinking about it, and we'll do a look ahead show and just have a little bit of a chat. Yeah, maybe an international special. You know, we never know. We may even I may even decide to bring a quiz into it.
We were going to do a quiz last time, weren't we? But it never materialised. I think.
No, we've done a quiz. We've definitely done a quiz.
Was that interactive or was that just for the people on the show?
It was just the people on the show.
Oh.
Mark, just let me know the questions you're going to ask so I can Google the answers before we start. Okay.
Never. But then again, thank you and good night.